Welcome to Under the Ancient Oaks, a video series about paganism, polytheism, and living a good life during difficult times.
Hi, I'm John Beckett, pagan blogger and author of The Path of Paganism, an experience-based guide to modern pagan practice. This is Under the Ancient Oaks, the video series, a series of short videos on topics of interest to pagans and polytheists. I've got a few episodes already in the works. In future weeks we'll talk about the land spirits and how we relate to them. We'll talk about ancestors and how we honor them. But today I want to talk about the assumptions of religion. The things that we base our beliefs and practices on that we don't think much about. And if we're not careful, we'll bring the assumptions of our old religion into our new religion. Some years ago, I was talking about paganism to someone who knew nothing about it. And I talked about the divine as female as well as male. I talked about our ancestors and honoring their beliefs and practices. I talked about the earth and relating to all the creatures of the earth and the seasons and cycles of the earth. And at the end of that, this person looked at me and said, well, what I really want to know is, how does paganism say you get to heaven? My answer was, that's not a relevant question in paganism. As a pagan, I'm concerned about how do I honor my gods and ancestors? How do I live in harmony with the earth and all her creatures? How do I build a better world here and now? And how do I live in such a way that when I leave this world and join the ancestors, I am worthy of their honor and respect? The afterlife will take care of itself. Now, this shows one of the assumptions that is widespread in our culture. The idea that religion is all about what you believe, and it's especially about what you believe about what happens after you die. It's about how you make sure you end up in the good place and not the bad place. But what if there is no good place and bad place? What if there's just another world that's very much like this one? Or what if we're reincarnated back into this world? Or what if something totally different happens that we're not even considering yet? These are interesting questions, and they're worth debating over a glass of wine or a cup of tea. But they show the dangers of going into any religion without questioning its foundational assumptions. If our paganism is built on Christian assumptions, or in some cases on atheist assumptions, it will never be the deep, meaningful pagan religion that we want it and need it to be. The kind of religion that changes our lives and enables us to change the world. So that's a very brief introduction to the assumptions of religion. In the coming months, I'm going to be speaking on this topic at an hour-long workshop at 3 separate events, and then again in a Sunday service at my UU church.
I'll be at the new pagan conference Mystic South in Atlanta, Georgia on July 21st through 23rd. On August 24th through 26th, I'll be at Beyond the Gates at Trout Lake Abbey in Washington State. And then on September 9th, I'll be at the Southern New Hampshire Pagan Pride Day in Manchester, New Hampshire. And I'll be doing a 20-minute version of this presentation in a Sunday service at the Denton UU Fellowship in Denton, Texas, August 13th. 2 services, one at 9:30, the other at 11:30. Challenging unstated assumptions and building a solid foundation for a pagan practice is a major theme in my book, The Path of Paganism. It's available from Llewellyn Worldwide and also from Amazon and from Barnes & Noble. And I discuss these topics and more 3 times a week on my blog, also called Under the Ancient Oaks, which is part of the pagan channel of the multi-faith religious website Patheos.
So that's the first episode of Under the Ancient Oaks, the video series. I have 3 other episodes in the works. I expect to have them out about once a month. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment on the blog or on Facebook. If they go over well, I'll make more. That's all for now. May the blessings of the gods and ancestors be on you as you walk the path of paganism.